Joined now by Dean Wampler, Principal Consultant at Think Big Analytics. Dean, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
What's the relationship between Hive and Hadoop at this point?
So the way I like to describe it is, at its core, Hadoop is the distributed file system and the MapReduce engine. And the MapReduce engine does all the work, but it's very hard to program at that level. So what Hive does is it gives you a structured query language abstraction on top of MapReduce so that you can write the usual SQL queries that you're used to writing, and they'll just turn into MapReduce jobs magically. And it's a great tool for people who are not used to programming, who are used to playing with databases, and it lets them be productive in the language.
How is it being applied at this point? Hive, that is.
Hive, yes. Yeah. It's what we find actually in our client engagements is that people tend to be in one of two camps. The developers are usually a small team, and then you have this huge team of data analysts that used to SAS, used to SQL, and they're the ones that are using it to do everything from traditional data warehousing solutions, analytics over data, even towards machine learning approaches where they plug in custom extensions to drive non-trivial analysis of the data. But anything you could imagine using SQL for, except persisting data, because it's not a database, you could use Hive for. It really puts the queue back in structured query language, is like the way I like to say.
Right, I like that. So expanding this a little bit, in your estimation, what is the state of the Hadoop talent pool right now?
Yeah, there's still a mad scramble, it seems, to fill the pool. I think everybody, excuse me,
Sure.
Everybody knows that they need talent. What we found is in our business, it's usually easier to train people from within. So when we go and do client sites, we'll often do training there, mentor them as we go, and that sort of thing. That's usually the easiest thing because there is a lot of unique stuff, but if you're a good, solid, enterprise class Java developer, you can usually pick it up pretty well. And if you're that data analyst who's used to SQL and SAS, you can pick the Hive part up pretty well. But so it's really tough to hire still, which is great for people who have the skills already. But the good news is it's approachable. People can learn it, and that's typically what we find our clients doing. For example,
do you anticipate that the supply is going to catch up with the demand relatively soon? Or
I don't think relatively soon. No, it seems like we're still in that hockey stick.
Yeah.
We haven't hit that trough of disillusionment or whatever phase you're supposed to go through.
The cycle.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
So we're going to go for a while, I think, where it'll be just a very rich market, and just the fact that innovation is happening so fast will just drive the need for people who either know the stuff or can learn it quickly. So it's a real opportunity for developers and data analysis type people.
So last question for you. Are there two near-term developments you expect to see in the Hadoop ecosystem?
The two that I'm most excited about are, one, the really embracing structured query language SQL as an essential tool. Hive, of course, paved the way, but now you have Impala that's taking Hive and putting a much more performant engine underneath it instead of MapReduce. And in fact, treating Hive as sort of a standard SQL, which is kind of an amazing thing, which I'm sure Facebook, who invented Hive, never anticipated. And even a lot of the databases now that sit on top of HBase and other platforms are now also starting to bring SQL back to the big data platform, which is, I think, what people need. And the other exciting thing is sort of what I alluded to with Impala, that people are recognizing that MapReduce has served us really well, but it's maybe time to start looking at alternative compute models, things that perform better in certain circumstances, like faster queries, more real-time responsiveness, and they're starting to build those engines, and I think that's going to also really drive a lot of innovation and a lot of improvement in the way that Hadoop addresses people's needs over the next few years.
Okay. Thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure, thank you.